Street Fighter 6's first DLC character has officially been announced and its release date revealed. That's right, Rashid of the Turbulent Wind returns after his Street Fighter V first iteration to Street Fighter 6, and we have the reveal trailer and the details of it all, and it definitely looks amazing. But what doesn't look amazing is the theme song. I lied. That's not the theme they're using. Rashid's Street Fighter V theme is just too iconic. I had to throw it in there, but we can get back to the real version of the trailer here. And there's a lot of details revealed in this. We're going to cover it in the trailer, react to it right now. And we have the Sony PlayStation blog post, which covers some of the details of his moves. But Rashid, first glance, he looks great, man. I really like the outfit they gave him. It really highlights the mobility. Look, the animators and Rashid are flexing for us right there. The cloth, it waves in the wind. You know, Rashid is all about the turbulent wind, and his moves definitely reflect that this time. Run makes a return. It looks like he's a run slide and a run overhead finish. Whirlwind shot, spinning mixer. There are some details there. That's one of his new moves that allows him to enhance his special moves like Rashid is known for. Usually Rashid had to use his V-Trigger 1 in Street Fighter 5 to do that. V-Trigger doesn't exist, so they have new mechanics there. Pay attention to the details. We'll cover that soon, but there's some details about his moves. But man, mobility is back. Rashid, if you don't know Rashid's competitive history, he was definitely one of the tier enthusiast, I would say, for Street Fighter 5. Top tier in pretty much every iteration. People would argue that in Season 1 he wasn't that good. I think he was just underdeveloped by the community at that time. Rashid has always been a super strong character. Very strong neutral and very great offense and mix-up potential as well. So you could purge him from like a more solid style or a more mix-up heavy style. And it looks like he might be featuring both again in Street Fighter 6. Super awesome character though. Very personable, high energy. Rashid is back. There's his classic outfit. You know, he has a DBFZ, DBZ power scanner as well. So yeah, he looks more, I don't know, more relaxed, more down to earth. Back to his roots in this costume variation for Street Fighter 6. But I really like the new look for Rashid. And we can cover some of his strengths and what he's going to be bringing to the table right now. So the moves that I'm really immediately looking at, so they cover a bit of his normal moves right here. Very stylish normals. That's definitely Rashid's overhead. Let's go ahead and slow this down and take a deeper look at what Rashid's bringing to the table. So, interesting normal set. That's sort of like Rashid's standing medium from Street Fighter 5, the two-hitting medium, which was cancelable on the first hit. A little hop in there. This is definitely Rashid's overhead. And this is just the animators flexing. That must be his taunt. It looks so fluid. The animation for his outfit, the fabrics flowing in the wind, it actually looked amazing. You know, I think Street Fighter V was ragged on heavily for a lot of the issues with clipping. A lot of the outfits would clip and the hair would clip in Street Fighter V graphically. I think Street Fighter V looked good overall, but it definitely had issues with clipping. I don't see such issues so far in this trailer. The Street Fighter 6 team said, look, we know what we're doing these days. Look at the fabric flowing, no clipping in sight. His throws are animated beautifully. That's his forward throw as well. I like how he kind of grips you with the leg and flips you around with the back throw also. Air throw, he definitely did not have an air throw in Street Fighter 5, but they're really doubling down on the air mobility in Street Fighter 6 as well. Rashid had a lot of options to manipulate his air mobility. He had a jump dive kick in Street Fighter 5. He had his V-Skull 1, which allowed him to flip over the opponent or to perform a rolling action. V-Skull 2 allowed him to have a triple jump. So he's always been very mobile in the air. So Rashid's dash in Street Fighter 5, it wasn't a typical dash. You would input a normal dash, and if you held forward, he would just keep running. And then out of that, you could perform actions. So it seems like they gave him a special slide ender. So a slide right under Luke's fireball there, giving him an anti-fireball option. What's interesting about this, though, is it doesn't knock down. Most slide moves, they would knock down. This seems to side swap. I don't know if he's going to have different options out of this, because you see how he follows up after the slide with another little punch here. So slide kick, punch. It's not clear yet if this is going to be the default option out of the slide, or maybe you can choose to keep them standing. If you keep people standing, oftentimes that allows you to have more mix-up potential. If you get a knockdown, that's good for establishing pressure again. But sometimes if you keep people standing, they're forced to immediately take mix-ups. So there might be potential for mix-ups here, or just a standard side swap. Here's another option out of the dash run. It looks like an overhead option, but also it low crushes. So I'm not sure if this move will be overhead or not. Based on the animation, I would assume so. You'd have to block it high. But the big thing here is that he can use it to approach in neutral and go over certain low buttons. And there's Whirlwind Shot, Rashid's Fireball. We do see the different variations of this later on in the trailer. Rashid's Fireball was very, very strong in Street Fighter V, but the big reason it was so strong was because you could also approach behind it with his V-Skill 1, his roll. So he could cancel very strong normals into the Fireball to harass you in neutral and to establish kind of this neutral control. But also then the big thing was his heavy Fireball. He would spin there for a long time. If you didn't interrupt him before the Fireball actually activated, he would then be able to release the Fireball and roll behind it to get plus frames, going to throw, mix up, get pressure, or combo if you got hit. Especially the EX1, which is so fast, he could just quickly throw that out and roll behind it and get in. So he had a lot of ways to kind of steal turns in Street Fighter V. So they didn't really show off the ability to steal turns behind the Fireball here, but I would assume he's going to have some options out of it. There's his spinning mixer anti-air version. So this looks like potentially the heavy version. So they show the medium one, which goes straight vertical from Street Fighter V, also in this trailer, which was an amazing anti-air. This looks like it might be the heavy version, or maybe the light version. The light version before would stay on the ground, but this one is traveling at a more closer to a 45-degree angle as a more spaced out anti-air option. And here we go. This is the new move added to Rashid's arsenal that we know about so far. We have the actual details from this from the PlayStation blog post. Whenever they release a new character, you want to check out the PlayStation blog post as well, where they cover a lot more details about the character and they give some insight into the moves in the trailer. So this new move is the Arabian Cyclone, a new special move that can be used on its own, where Rashid performs a spinning kick, conjuring up a small whirlwind, and can be transitioned into Rolling Assault and Wing Stroke, which are previously available as V-Skills in Street Fighter V. So this is like his new move to get those mobility options that were previously tied to V-Skills in Street Fighter V. So this spinning right here, there we go. There's the Arabian Cyclone. This is like the rolling attack from Street Fighter V, Rolling Assault rather. So if you immediately canceled it in Street Fighter V, you would go into the kick variation, or you could empty roll as well to get pressure. So I'm not sure if you could empty roll in this version as well to maybe steal a turn behind it if they block the Arabian Cyclone. But basically, notice the graphics in the background. It sets up the whirlwind and he rolls through it. Here's the other option. He uses it in a combo. There's a launching target combo here, which is new. So this looks like Rashid's standing medium from Street Fighter V into a launching kick, Arabian Cyclone, and then he cancels into the Wing Stroke. It looks like the air version, the V-Skill 2 from Street Fighter V. So it looks like both a combo tool and a tool to set up pressure in block string sequences. Double hitting, jump and attack. And here we have the level 1 super for Rashid, side swaps, big kick. Did you know that Rashid was a blogger? Big detail here. He's definitely not on Twitch. 4K HD, we ain't doing no 4K on Twitch. I think the official streaming platform, they confirmed it. It is FooTube. Of course, he's a FooTube streamer. Of course. And then here we go. So this is a big detail here that was just very easy to miss if you were just casually watching the trailer. So he's going to do his whirlwind here. Notice the effects that it leaves behind here. Spinning, powering it up, and there we go. Notice the cyclone left behind in its wake. That is the key here. So as mentioned in the PlayStation blog post, Rashid's special moves can be enhanced when interacting with Whirlwind. So previously you would have to use Rashid's V-Trigger 1 in Street Fighter V, which would set up the Cyclone, and you could pass through it with his dive kicks, with his roll, with his V-Skills, with this spinning mixer, and it would provide enhanced versions of these special moves that were either like more plus on block, safer on block, more damage, more plus frames. So for this one, his Whirlwind Shot also has the ability to create air currents when held down to charge. So you can charge the Whirlwind Shots. So maybe that's not based on the strength this time, it's based on holding down the button. But you see here, as he charges it, it creates a cyclone, and he's able to pass through it with his Eagle Spike, this dive kick, which also, on the ground, allows him to just, lunge at the opponent. So it looks like he gets an enhanced version of his Eagle Spike as he creates the whirlwind, leaves it behind. Eagle Spikes through it, and then follows up with the medium spinning mixer as the combo ender to juggle right there. So he has ways to set up his enhanced movement options without having to use the super or V trigger. And here's where things get tricky. Another new move from Rashid and new air option. So they couldn't let Rashid just play solid footsies on the ground. Of course, he's got to do some fancy stuff in the air. So he's using the Arabian cyclone maneuver here, cancels it to his V-Skill 1 variation. He can either do the roll on the ground or the spring jump in the air. And that puts him in the air here. And then he goes into the new move. And this new move is called Arabian Sky High. So the blog post continues. The Arabian Sky High that will surely keep opponents guessing on where he'll land from the air. He can switch sides with the side flip. And then he can follow that up with a front flip and take to the air once again. So this EX double jump here allows him to spring forward, spring back, get a hit. There's another double jump there, cancels it into the dive kick. So it looks like this move actually has a hitbox, and then you can cancel that to a front flip after, and then from that front flip you have an air option when that's where he goes into the dive kick. So it's hard to fully grasp the extent of his air mobility options, but rest assured this character is going to be schmoovin' on the competition. Look at that. You're gonna be getting mixed by this character. It's unavoidable. The thing about Rashid is that, like I mentioned before, in Street Fighter V, not only did he have a lot of options like this, but he was also extremely solid on the ground and had some of the best anti-air options in the game. His medium whirlwind, the cyclone that goes straight up vertically, would hit on both sides and keep people caged in the corner. So it's yet to be seen if his neutral is going to be just as solid as Street Fighter V, but he definitely has the mix options. Now look, let's be real here. In the trailers for Cammy for Street Fighter 6, they really emphasize her hooligan shenanigans. That hasn't really shaken out so far in month 1 of Street Fighter 6 to be how the character is played at a high level. She's still very fundamentally sound and pretty simple, straightforward strike, throw, dive kick game. I'm not sure how practical these air options are going to be for Rashid, but it's definitely a big part of the charm of the character. So we might not see too many of these options at high level. We don't know yet. But he does have these tricks up his sleeve. We're definitely going to see a lot of people utilizing them. And then this one's pretty big. So this is his level 2 super, which is pretty much like the V-Trigger one from Street Fighter V. So if he activates level 2, and he does this from a drive impact combo, level 2 sets up the cyclone, lets him get enhanced versions of the combo. So what you want to look for is the cyclone that's left behind. So this is the same animation as his charge whirlwind or the Arabian cyclone new move that he has. It leaves behind, beyond the main big cyclone, it leaves behind this whirlwind effect in the background, and this is what Rashid uses to enhance his special move. So after getting hit by the initial hitbox of the cyclone, it leaves behind the enhanced whirlwind, and he uses that to do a EX spinning mixer and continue the combo. Of course, that ends in an additional follow-up, and I believe this is using the Arabian Sky High follow-up. So what I'm assuming here is that the whirlwind power-up allowed him to follow up after the EX spinning mixer. In Street Fighter V as well, if you did EX spinning mixer that was enhanced by his whirlwind, he could also follow it up with an air option at the end. That was kind of like a last resort trick that not too many people knew about with Rashid. So I'm assuming that the enhanced whirlwind allowed him to follow up with an air option here, and then he uses the Arabian Sky High here to get the follow-up, get the double jump after, and then do another move to finish off the combo. So just extensions on extensions on extensions for Rashid. Turret combo, EX. What is this? This is his EX whirlwind shot, it looks like, which leaves behind the enhanced cyclone, which he uses with, I believe that's the Arabian cyclone again. Get the ground bounce, and then here we have the level 3, the last resort. And there you go, stylish with the camera right there. Unfortunately, blowing it away, getting a little too ham with his own abilities there. And there we have Rashid. You know what? I thought it was pretty funny, though. This whole trailer, he's beating up on Lily. I guess they both have kind of the wind theme going for them. If you check out his Street Fighter 6 profile, though, Rashid hates fighting women and children. I feel like Lily qualifies for both of those, so I don't know. I guess I'll do anything for the content, you know? There we have Rashid of the Turbulent Wind. He looks amazing so far. He might be a dastardly character to have to fight against in the future. And he comes out right before EVO, July 24th. So if you have the Battle Pass, they're doing the Battle Pass leading up to his release up until the 23rd. And then after that, they're doing the actual release of Rashid. We'll see if he's tournament legal at EVO. It's just a few weeks before EVO. If he is, it's going to be a turbulent tournament, I guess, for everyone going up against people who are gonna like no life this character for 2 weeks and try to surprise everybody at EVO. It'll be interesting to see. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.